I now want to shift focus to the good news story, or the big India First story on India Today, and that's the voter turnout in Jammu and Kashmir. Baramulla in Jammu and Kashmir made history with a record highest voter turnout in almost 4 decades and 40 years. Now, according to the Election Commission, the voter turnout in Baramulla was close to 59%. In 1984, voter turnout was around 59%. In the fourth phase, Srinagar polled about 37%, which again was the highest in 3 decades. It was in 1996 that Srinagar had recorded close to 41%. And I quickly want to now cut across and take you to Srinagar. Joining me now on this big story is Shehla Rashid, a very well-known student activist once upon a time, an academic and a policy consultant who joins me on the broadcast. Shehla Rashid, welcome on India First. What explains this high voter turnout in the valley, according to you, Shehla?
Thank you, Gaurav. So first of all, India is an island of democracy, and the general elections in India are nothing short of a festival. It is the biggest festival of democracy on the planet, anywhere on the planet. One can easily say that. And now Kashmir is also becoming part of that. So the kind of voting that you see in the North Kashmir constituency today, it is at par or even higher than many of the other constituencies in the rest of India. So in many places, in like normal places, which is to say, you will find 40, 45%, 50% voting, whatever. This is pretty high for any Indian constituency. So I think for that, I would like to congratulate everyone, all the stakeholders, the Election Commission of India and the people of Baramulla constituency, the candidates. We've seen a free and fair election. We've seen people filing candidatures from Bihar jail, and they've been, there's been no problem with their papers, nothing. So it's a free and fair election.
Okay.
And that becomes really important in a Kashmir context, because if we sort of roll back 3-4 decades,
okay,
it was the rigging of an election that became the immediate cause of.
In fact, that's the point I was coming to. As someone who's heard of and lived through multiple phases in Kashmir, what has changed in your view post the 5th of August 2019, if anything has changed since Article 370?
Well, see, honestly, since post 5th August, we had 2 elections. There was the DDC election, which was, done in a very, it was a very tense atmosphere. But today you see a very free atmosphere. So if you ask me what has changed, not post 5th August, but let's just compare it to the 90s.
Yes.
So back in the 90s, when I was growing up, I was just a kid, and we were told ki election ke time ab bahar mat jao. We were advised not to do that because there was a possibility of like a bomb blast going, bomb going off somewhere or something like that. And today, like on polling day, polling days are just normal days. There's traffic movement, there's vehicular movement, everything else is going on. So it has become a normal day. So even the polling day in Srinagar was just a normal day. People were going to, I don't know, the gym or whatever, people were doing their normal things. Of course, the business establishments and everything was closed, but it was a normal day. And I think that is a really big change. What I have seen over the last 3-4 decades is voter suppression and intimidation, where it was kind of like a threat, and people were advised not to go out and vote. And you see like some of the unfortunate incidents that happened yesterday in South Kashmir, I think day before yesterday night. These are also sort of remnants of the past in a sense, where we see attempts at voter suppression and intimidation, by Pakistan. So that is something we are still dealing with. Yet people have placed their faith in democracy. People have placed their faith in the ballot. I think that's a great sign.
It indeed is. And thank you very much for joining me, Shehla Rashid. Wish you and friends in Jammu and Kashmir all the very best for this dance of democracy.